Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. We are still at the Goblin Fort, and we're... oh, all of you. We're heading back to Keston. Wow, that's a lot of people. And of course some of them had to turn into monsters.
Bring it! Nowhere to run. Repent! Just exposed.
There we go. Can I loot before I talk to them? Oh, we lost guards. Okay, so now let's move in. Where is Keston? You should be here somewhere. No, bother. He's in there. Keston breathes heavily, looking around the bloody battlefield. Your Grace, how can this be? The people, the prisoners from the camp, they've exploded just like that. The shaman was mumbling about a season of bloom. It seems the seeds the people swallowed turn into portals. Keston wipes his brow. All the seeds have blossomed. Abadar protect us. The capital is full of infected, both on the streets and in Kavkin's hospital. Keston turns to you. You must hurry to the capital. I will continue looking for the source of the seeds. The shaman mentioned a place up the stream, Lamashtu's womb. It is the source of the seeds. Then I'm gathering my men and heading out there. Keston's brow darkens and his eyes narrow. I swear upon my life I will find this womb, Your Grace, and destroy the source of the disease. But Kavkin, gods be merciful, he has no one to protect him. And the citizens, will the guard be enough to halt the attack of these horrid creatures? Keston falls silent for a moment, his brow troubled. No, I have to go up the river, make sure there are no new seeds. I must stop this curse at the source. It is for you to decide, Your Grace, where your help is more needed. Jod will defend his patients to the last. As for me, Keston frowns, I'll do the same. Anything to put an end to this horror once and for all. Keston, you are in my service, not to play hero in the woods while my subjects, the families of your militia, are being sacrificed. Now fulfill your duty, gather your squad and take it to the capital. Keston freezes, then lowers his eyes. I am sorry, Your Grace. The immediacy of the situation clouded my judgment. He steps back and bows. I shall head back to the capital at once, Baron. That particular choice is rather important, but I won't spoil anything there.
Ahead.
We go off the map. I'll pause while I have a look through all these items. I did find one composite shortbow, but that was it, so let's leave. And we're headed to the Lamashtu's womb as quickly as possible. Question is, where is it? I will just check the map. Okay, so all we have to do is move up towards... Let's check the kingdom thing. There is an event. Letter from Magar Varn. And that's a problem, so that's something we need to resolve, but we have to get to the womb. I think we need to go here. to avoid. Couldn't, so guess it's a gang of goblins.
Running won't help you!
Or cultists.
Attack!
Should probably skin the owlbear. Otherwise, there's usually just one masterwork longsword on these guys, so onwards we go. Deep. Just continue up here, and we need to cross the lake. We don't want to enter the village. There's the womb.
The rest would be welcome.
Try to avoid. Evade. Before we go in here, let's rest, and in this specific scenario, let's use rations. Yep.
I wonder, do mammoth lords have their own writing system? They must have much to tell.
The legends of my people are passed from generation to generation. If someone doesn't get into a legend, then he's a weakling, and there's nothing to talk about.
Continue, and let's go inside. That was partially to replenish my spells, not just to resolve the rest issue.
Forwards.
A clever ploy.
Lots of goblins.
You deserve it.
Okay, let's... Do you have... No, you don't. But I don't want to waste all of those.
A troop.
Go. No idea what happened there. Masterwork daggers. Masterwork short bow. This is a peculiar place. Let's go down here first.
Our path leads on.
My search was not in vain.
Taldan's warrior dog tag. Seems to be it down here. Now we can either go up here, or we can go in here. Let's take this path.
I see something.
I am prepared to meet my end.
Rhino giant spider.
Stride's worth a legend.
Quite a bit of them too.
Strike as one. Do not hold back.
Disarm that trap.
Applause, please.
Thank you. Then take the dog tag. And here's a javelin +2.
Without a doubt.
I don't like surprises.
Anything else? Applause, please.
Headband of Inspired Wisdom +4. That's probably something we would equip on Harim if it weren't for the fact that he's wearing a professor's hat. I don't think anyone else here needs wisdom, so... Okay, let's go back here then.
Look ahead.
Crap.
We march ahead.
We
I will
can
see this through.
do that. Come back here, everyone, come back here. I want the spiders past the trap.
Any last wishes?
No strength wasted.
Very good. Now let's disarm the trap. Maybe we can't disarm the trap. Do we have a spell with communal poison? Yes, we do. So let's cast that on Lindsay. There we go.
Applause, please.
Through the cloud.
Without a doubt.
My search was not in vain.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Let's go backwards.
This is where I stand.
And you do one of those. Now let's remove the traps. There's a big slug there. I think there's a red cap we can loot here. Doesn't really have anything of interest though.
Our time has come.
You can do a scorching ray on that thing.
We've downed better ones.
Go on.
They go down!
Let yourself expose.
Good.
Applause, please.
And we can loot.
Applause,
Stand
please.
with me.
Decapitator of Alcata. Final giant spider.
Learn while I
They came down here as well. I didn't notice that.
bring it!
Can you guys imagine spiders that are able to
I will
teleport?
guide us.
It would be rather horrible. He's walking
Would
around
you
here.
look at that?
Shock greatsword +1. Dog tag. Dinosaur bones.
Our path leads on. I grant you death.
Will they ever burn?
Explosive bomb.
This spell has other uses.
No strike wasted.
Well,
Cannot hide from me.
okay, so we got this place cleared. Here's an agile light pick +3. Some loot.
Forwards.
Now my question is, where are we supposed to go?
Without a doubt.
Ah, here we go.
Let's finish them quick.
Can we throw a bomb now then? Apparently not. Those bombs take a great deal of time to cast. Oh, there was a trap there.
You deserved it.
Okay, now let's use one of those communal fireballs. Communal. Controlled fireballs, I mean.
Just as exposed.
Good.
Anything else?
Red cabs, they don't have anything of interest in terms of weaponry. The door here.
Stop. Look.
Frost composite longbow. Okay, now I'm going to look at the guide because this place is kind of a maze. Okay, there is no really clear path here, so we'll just have to move through the doors.
My search was not in
Now
vain.
is the beginning of the hunt.
Okay.
No strike wasted.
Applause, please.
Spider that can be looted. Oh, it's a primal spider matriarch.
We march ahead.
What do we have here?
We have a belt of physical form +4. +4 to dexterity and constitution. Let's put that on Jubilos then. It's also save. I think it might be time for some
Sorry,
healing.
Was lost in thought.
Good. Let's take this door.
Look ahead.
Masterwork Estoc.
I will guide us.
Applause, please.
Traces of armor +4. Peridot or Perido Wyvern. What is that? Usable item. Capable of summoning a mighty wyvern once per day for 10 minutes. That can be useful. Okay, so the final door, I think. Indeed. A long journey through the caves stretching around Silverstep Lake brought our brave heroes to another large narrow crack in the wall. This time, however, the crack looked different from the previous ones. We started to realize that we were nearing something mysterious and magical. More and more strange vegetation appeared on the cave walls and floor. Mold and lichen gave way to huge flowers, enormous mushrooms, and even some bushes brimming with berries big and bountiful. The crack itself was as odd as its surroundings. Within, it seemed pure darkness, thick and deep, was roiling beyond the crack. But what space lay beyond, none of us could guess. We all noticed a draught from the crack that seemed to rise and fall like breathing, stirring the dust motes within the musty cave. So, what did our heroes do? They looked around before rushing into the unknown. One needn't be a druid to understand the plants under our feet were unusual, to say the very least. They were too big and too tall, and the huge flowers had unnatural shades that made the eyes hurt to look at them. Perhaps it was the soil they grew in that caused them to grow in such a way, but who could tell for certain? The plants blanketed not just the floor, but the walls too. Here and there in the darkness, we could see gleaming islands of luminescent lichen. If that wasn't intriguing enough, stalks grew from the lichen, and on the ends hung big multifaceted fruits. Maybe the seeds of these strange plants had found their way here, blown by the wind from the narrow fissure. After all, it was strong enough to stir the motes of the cave, leave in part a hair or two on our fellows' heads. As if on cue, we caught a faint smell of pollen from the other side of the crack. Perhaps beyond was the source of the strange garden. Go on. Readying ourselves, we decided to act. The first of us started to squeeze through the crack, cursing and grunting, your humble servant following right behind. The Baron's chronicler can't allow a tiniest detail to escape her attention, so I had to be as close to the front as possible. This time our path to adventure proved little to our liking. The crack in the rock was narrow, even for me, and led us further and further, curving and twisting until I'd quite lost my bearings. The wind from the other side became stronger and blew into our faces, bringing new smells, fresh grass, fragrant buds, sweet blossoms. Then suddenly the ground gave way. The path had become a sinkhole. Blood rushed up to my head, my stomach sank to my feet, and I had the most peculiar dizzying sensation. My body was pulled in two directions at once, as if divided across some strange wall that separated here from there, until I was truly there and no longer here. I had no time to be afraid. My fall was quick and my landing was soft. We fell right into a cushion of thick, high grass. Pulling herself together, your humble servant immediately started to look around, asking what happened. Where had she been, whisked off to with the brave Baron? I confess, even for me, it was hard to choose the right words to describe what lay before our eyes. This certainly looks like an interesting place. course, there are spiders here. Quick spiders.
We will prevail.
Nowhere to run. I aim true.
They go down!
Doom spider? That sounds very promising.
I grant you death.
The bird with bright iridescent feathers sings its song and shows no fear as you approach.
Without a doubt.
I seem to recall that we need something. Let me check the guide for this. Okay, so we need to go 2 times to the left.
Forwards.
She looks familiar.
Our path leads on.
Get ready.
Listen. Listen to me, trespasser. You sought a kingdom. I seek something simpler. Apology.
Get ready.
Listen. As you sought to steal a kingdom for yourself, so must you do again. 1,000 times over. For a theft, a true theft, must be practiced to be earned. It will be a lengthy task. This is how it shall be measured.
I'll remember.
Make ruins of kingdoms. When each is dust, the grains shall gather in this vessel. When 1,000 grains are gathered, bring it before us as an offering, so that an eldest may sip from it. When that is done, your trespass shall be forgiven.
Where will I find so many nations? It is...
An impossible task? Oh! Let your unrequited love guide you. Guided you to your first kingdom, so it shall again. Seek it, hunt for it, lust for it. Let the emptiness inside you become your deadliest weapon. It is not an impossible task. After all, what use is an apology that cannot ever be given?
That was interesting. The sight of the days makes you uneasy. There are no bars or shackles, but an air of oppressiveness hangs over it.
Without a doubt.
Okay, so I need to pause again. We're looking for a gnome. Wait. Guessing if we go in here, we'll just get teleported again. Indeed. Oh, here he is. Old gnome. The gnome looks old, worn, and is covered in a layer of dust, as if he has sat here with some time without moving. His back is hunched, and as you approach, he tilts his head up to you, giving an odd half-smile. Come, child, come closer. Don't be scared. The sounds of your footsteps reminded me of... The gnome dips his head and goes silent, although his lips remain moving, as if he is speaking silently to himself. Indeed, you can expect my brethren in most unexpected places, which makes the expression unexpected places pointless where gnomes are concerned. Who are you, and what is this place? You children are always so curious. Questions, more questions, then some more questions. The gnome shrugs. Which should I answer first? Who are you? I'm just an old man, a remnant of the past in a world that cares as little for time as you care about the air you breathe. The gnome covers his eyes and starts rocking back and forth. So many things lost, so many people left, still I'm here. His voice drops to a whisper, but he continues to rock back and forth. You are truly old beyond measure. What holds you here in this world? Nothing holds me but the world itself. You mortals love asking for reasons, as though the world were governed by laws of cause and effect, as if everything happened for a reason. Silly, stupid mortals. I am here simply because I am here. What is this place? This is the beginning that was before all other beginnings, the echo born before sound. This is the mark on the margins of sacred text, made by gods when they got bored. This is the world, but unlike all other worlds. Are we in the first world? Where else? The gnome grins. Dear sir, I've got 1,127 questions for you, approximately. Jubilost cuffs and straightens as if trying to project an air of authority. Do me the courtesy of answering at least one. Do you know why gnomes left the first world? No. Just like that? No? Just no? Final and absolute no, without any nuances and explanations? Jubilost's face is a mix of emotions that are difficult to read. He's either indignant, furious, or very, very disappointed. If you seek a snake, don't ask her slough for direction, but I'll tell you. The gnome goes silent as if his ears caught something, then resumes. Those others, they never left. They never went anywhere. They just disappeared. Everyone disappeared. The gnome averts his eyes. I have nothing more to tell you. Enough about that for now. As you wish, child, as you wish. I've seen something odd here, a vision of a woman and many others in the mist. They appeared before me, then vanished. The goddess once passed here, the proud one, the bitter one, the one who fell so far yet never has fallen to her knees. Her steps still echo, taste the silence, the salt in the air is her tears. And when you blink, there is something in a corner of your eye, a shadow, a vision, a memory. A strange glow appears in the gnome's eyes. When you approached, for a moment I thought I saw her again. The way you walk, this power you radiate, and a ghostly crown of a newborn kingdom upon your brow. It cannot be seen, but I see the weight your shoulders bear carrying it. Your connection with her, with she who fell, is stronger than you think. Troubling events brought me here. Maybe you know something about what's happening. So much meaning can be hidden in one maybe. Ask away. Monsters are emerging from seed portals into my lands. What do you know about it? Monsters? No. They are just creatures, frightened, as you and I would be so far from home. They've lived here with me for time countless and were my only friends before the bloom tore the world. It is not their fault. Seal the bloom and they will trouble your world no longer. Oh, right, sure. The beasts aren't to blame. They were just hungry. Then I'm not really to blame either, right? I just wanted to chop their heads off. Of course. No one is to blame for anything. You and they, you have much in common. How can we get out of here? The gnome turns away and looks at his feet for a long time, mumbling under his breath. After several moments, he turns to you again. It is possible to leave this place. Possible, yes. But to cross back, you'll need to bear the brunt of her wrath. It is not something you can find. It is something you must inspire. You have to follow her, the goddess who fell. You have to see the world through her eyes, recognize her voice among thousands of other voices. Go down her path, awaken her wrath. Then you will be able to return home. Who is this goddess you speak of? She wanted to become more than she was. She dared to claim something that was not hers. So powerful was the song of her pride, and so quickly it was silenced. Just a night, a single night in prison, in loneliness, in anticipation of her future fate. And her pride became fear. And fear, it burrows deep, like the worst of all poisons, desperation. Do you know how such emotion tastes, child? Don't even think about drinking this poison. Take a drop of it to the place where the seeds of wrath have sprouted. When the wrath awakens and fills everything around, you'll become a step closer to your home and to defeating the bloom. Follow my story. Watch everything closely, listen carefully. Unknown can be hidden inside known, and much that is unusual lies concealed behind the usual. Take my lantern with you. It will help you to light your way, and know this, not today and not tomorrow, but you will recall the fallen goddess. Tell me about the goddess again? Yeah, that's the same. Let's stop talking about that for now. The gnome gives you a distracted nod. I have to go. Farewell. So we need to solve the gnome's riddle. We've gotten a magical lantern, which is a utility item, so I guess we'll have to put it on our belt. I don't know how that works. Okay, so all of them have the first world lantern. However, we'll need to solve that riddle in the next episode, so thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all then.